Hey, what's up? This is your girl SJ Retsu, and I basically want to talk about my favorite albums of 2013. I love Foster the People. That was one of my beginning first albums that I loved this year that came out, and every song on there is very inspirational. Fun, of course, had Some Nights, and I loved that album as well. I definitely would recommend it. There were a couple albums that came out where had disappointing sales, but their singles were way better than what happened. Drake's new album had a lot of good singles this year. For anybody that doesn't know who Jaheim Ayeko is, there's a new album coming out, I think this year or next year, and if you don't know, look it up because it's really good. I've heard about her in the past. I just haven't been really focused on checking her full-on music, but I've seen her two videos, one with Childish Gambino and the one with herself, and it's crazy. The videos are nuts. I actually like Beyonce this year. I mean, most of her songs were all released on radio constantly over and over again. I'm sure I didn't download it, but there are a couple of songs that I like on there. But my favorite albums that I actually fully love was Metric's new album, Synthetica, and I love that album to death. I'll play that thing constantly. One of my favorite albums this year for rock albums. I also liked Ariana Grande's Yours Truly. I love that album to death as well. And Kelly Rowland's Talk a Good Game. I love that as well. There's a few albums that came out this year that were hit and miss for me. A lot of the songs, like Lady Gaga's song, Katy Perry's, it was alright. I mean, there's a few singles that I kind of like. Celine Dion's new album, I didn't get a full listen. My mom has it, so hopefully I'll get to critique that very soon. I will hopefully get to check it out. Drake's album, of course, came out this year, and a lot of singles got released there. But one of my favorite mixtape songs right now that I'm listening to is Cassie's Rockabye Baby mixtape, and I've been playing that shit forever. Not just because she's Filipino, I just think that's one of her better albums in 7 years, and I honestly really love it because it's down, dirty, grindy, no holds back mixtape. Not even an album, it's one of the better things I've actually heard this year, and it's a little late, but it did come out in April for download this year, and I didn't even know when I just typed in Cassie on YouTube, that's what I found. So I'm really glad she came out, and hopefully she comes out with an album. I can't wait to see what she brings. She's doing a No Holds Bar now, and I really, really like it. And I also liked a few other singles as well in mind. There's Angelique's You and I, that was a good video. There's also a couple Canadian artists that came in. Of course, I had to take Drew's album, On the Brink. I think it's one of the good soulful albums that were missed in Canadian market this year. I really, 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 really loved that album completely. It was one of the better ones. And of course I can't go without saying Kishante 2013 Night and Day. I love that album to death. I mean, it was one of the better albums, in my opinion, that came out from a Canadian artist, from my perspective. Not because I'm saying I've been a fan of hers since a long time and I belong to a street team, and I love Casey supported me from taping all her stuff this year. I like Table Dancer, of course, I'm going to say that, but I really love Victorious, Shooting Star. I love Test Drive. I love I Miss You. It just gives me a certain mood. I love also Hang My Jersey Up. It's all about mood, basically, when I listen to that album and how I'm feeling. I love all the songs on Keisha Shante's Night and Day album, and I think that got also missed this year. There was a couple other albums off the top of my head, singles and stuff like that. I don't know who the artists are, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but in Countdown Times, I think a lot of my albums are more non-popular than normal, so if you wanted to, just check out my review, because I really like a lot of the albums that came this year. And there's a lot of disappointment because I've been waiting for Amerie's Cinematica, or Because I Love It Volume 2, and I know there's a couple writing things. Production is really hard. I've got to experience it. myself. And the techniques, one song takes like 24 hours. Seriously, not kidding. And it's really hard for these artists to songwrite and everything. I really did appreciate this year in music that I got to finally check out Dan Hill's performance live, and I thought it was really, really good. Definitely Adele's 21 was also one of the better albums this year, and her rendition of Skyfall for the James Bond movie was also good as well. That's a really good signal. I can't wait for Adele to come out with new music. A girl, A-Marie, from my past. Can't wait for her to come out with new music. Iggy Azalea. Though also, there's a couple artists off the top of my head that that I'm expecting great new albums from, and Mariah Carey would be one of them. Alicia Keys as well. Hopefully 2014 will bring more greater music, and I'll bring more unpopular music that people don't really focus on to talk about it, because there was a really couple good albums that got missed, and I feel like they deserve more of a credit than what was popular playing out there. That's why I don't really listen to the radio, because there's a lot of good mixtapes and albums, like Calvin Harris as well. This year he's done a really good job, and Dragonette also really did a good job with their new album. And Tegan and Sara as well was one of my other favorite song lists to have. I like playing all their songs. I really do like Canadian music. I also like international music. So hopefully whatever happens in 2014 music, you'll hear from me. It's your girl SJ Reps You, and have a good end of the year.